Welcome back to my lovely IHP community and the 5D Collective, as we have been discussing healthy others versus the unhealthy others who don't heal or want to heal insecurity. They are of a group that doesn't need for us to address anything. Either they will eventually realize that there's no Lucifer to blame, that he would laugh at the fact that his name is getting used to perpetuate what really is nothing more except for something that at this point in our era we have plenty of great therapists out there. So childhood trauma is healable by those who take themselves seriously, and those are the people who are emotionally, mentally, and physically on the intelligence scale and will be addressing their own self-empowered, enlightened mindfulness ways once they're ready to come on over and do self-empowerment with us. Okay, so the 5D Collective, in the meantime, we support each other in the capacity to lift with the wind beneath our wings, okay, as healthy others. So for each other, we get to build those relationships and a life that is with bliss and delight, because we're learning self-attuning, or we know self-attuning, and therefore we have the capacity to be accountable and regulate and to live healthy, securely attached lovers and relationships. So even if we encounter, I shared with you a story, a situation where there was shame sex on the part of the unhealthy person, it will be something that is made clear because of their lack of communicativeness. So they don't text you back. The part about where they feel disgust, contempt, and all that other stuff, well, it's unfortunate for them. The divine feminines, raise your hand, those would be women and or men who are inner and outer nurturers. So we don't lead with a shame button. No shame. We have an open heart. As for the divine masculines, when they're embodying the true divine masculine, they also don't lead with shame. So in all cases, nobody's going to look to the past and say, I regret my life. You know what? I want to change. No, because when you do conscious living, that's mindfulness and spirituality, and that's a healthy other. Okay, so that's when you are a person who knows self-regulation, because you can be here like the Zen master. He doesn't even know yet complete healthy self-regulation. Otherwise, he wouldn't talk about his emotions as laundry. He would use other words. He would allow himself to be able to tell you and share with you, you can create emotional resiliency thanks to being mindfully aware of the self of you and thoughts and emotions with mindfulness practices and mindset. So all people who are going to fit here at the 5D Collective of IHP, they love to do thoughts and emotions, which is why we can be those wings and the wind for each other. Consistently open-hearted. We know that Lucifer would laugh at his name being used. That's as straightforward as it gets. So here's where twin flame journey. People laugh at what you see out there because the ones who are using wave 1, 2, 3, 4, those are called identifiers. So once again, we have people that are doing this. I mean, we don't need Lucifer again, no demon. All we have is the vanity and the insecure people who need a group. And then they just like to talk about Lucifer because, they use ancient textbooks. Okay, and so with that, I have a little bit of a message that wants to come with this episode. I love my runes, okay, the dance of the runes. It's Italian, so I'm going to translate it for you, okay? Strength, vitality, change, process of transmutation. This one I'm going to look up. The word, I think I know how it is in English, but let me pause for a minute. Sadhguru, in the end, who you are is what will manifest in the world. When you have secure attachment, yourself will manifest in the world, and you're going to have a good time with all of the relationships. Divine feminine, divine masculine, doesn't matter. So your twin flame and flames and soulmates, you look and say, wow, it's really awesome. Oh, and you don't cut cords. None of us cut cords with anyone. That's a bullshit word, and it's really, again, the 4D and 3D body types is what I'm going to call it. They have unhealthy insecurities. So they don't know how to self-regulate. They don't take accountability. They don't want to, and they don't go to therapy with the will to heal. They say it's bullshit. Find it hard to believe. They say it's bullshit that their first 3 years of life mean anything, and you just want to allow them, again, to stay within their uneducated, ignorant, maladaptive, unimpressive, insecure, low self-esteem, and dark communication, passive-aggressive manners, but also relationships. We don't want to watch as people allow themselves to be treated like shit by people that do push and pull. It's really not fun, and it's not Lucifer again. It's simply put sad business. So people who don't recognize it in 2024, they don't impetuosity. There you go. They just, Patrick Tian is the best way I can say it. As he says, hurt people don't have to hurt people. We have information and good therapists out there. So impetuosity and the strength of the lovely Taurus. And so our bulls. But if you're a Taurus, and I do love my Taurus, they're earth sign. I'm an air sign. I love earth, air, and fire, and water. I love all the elements, and that's that fifth. There's a fifth element, so we are connected. By the way, the 5D Mystic here is always fun as I expand my oversoul. And as Sadhguru shares, true compassion is not about giving or taking. A divine feminine knows all about that. True compassion is just doing what is needed. So when you have healthy self-worth and you're self-empowered and you're in that enlightenment, that's why the destiny, you own your mind, you own your body, you own your heart, you own yourself, and that's why you can be yourself. And so with that, again, it's unimpressive to meet unhealthy self-worth people because they don't do anything. They don't talk, they don't act. They're a bunch of smoke and mirrors, which is why, again, I say Lucifer would laugh at that. Because Lucifer, when I was talked about him, I thought of this scary monster, and I never ever have seen him. He's not existing. And once I got clairs, I also navigate the planes, and I do know of the denser energies, and they're not scary for the 5D body type. The 4D have a different relationship because they don't go and take their childhood seriously and take their embodied brain to a therapist. I'm not even kidding with you right now, which is why we are friends with all people. But they're going to keep picking up on the 5D ascension energies with fear because they're not healing their fear receptor, which goes wonky. They're not doing anything to support their humanity. They like to be mantles and think of themselves as anointed. So their frontal lobes, is how I'm going to explain it, is flopped down. They are flopped down. This neuroscientist explained when people are navigating with their fight-flight on, and as long as you don't teach your first 3 years of life how to undo that stuff, yeah, you're not undoing it. So pseudo-alive is what the 4D does. They also have alters. And so the fear is what's going on because the trauma is not healed yet. Sadhguru, if every moment of your life, no matter what the nature of your work or your life situations, you can remain playful and exuberant, that means you are liberated. Yes, when you have complete ownership of the self, your sense of self, narrative, solo self, narrative, relational, and core, no shame button. Now you're going to know exuberant because you're going to have a body, though, that is connected to your mind. Okay, that's why sensory motor somatics and EMDR and child parts work is first to get to then using yoga effectively and your clairs. Until then, those pseudo-life people, I've seen them in my classes, near me, all of it. And that's why they have tragedy with their twin flames. They don't have strength, not even a little bit, because they don't go and get their inner child reparented with Patrick Tiahan. They walk around with the people who have this going on. And you'll notice. So, again, they have unresolved trauma, unimpressive, not Lucifer. So, right now we have energies about, as always, we're closing out the year. And so this beautiful moment brings to you a lot of change. Something is finishing up and creating space for the new dimension. Yes, so some of you have moved into being able to be a complete 5D person. The 5D frequency, it's Christ consciousness, oneness consciousness. You don't have to believe in Jesus or any mystic stuff, but basically it's called integration of the brain. So I bring to, again, science, spirituality, and spiritual, not for you to believe in them, no, for you to understand how you can be yourself. So it's personal development and, again, stories, voices, perspectives, just in case you're new and you don't know this. I have a bunch of people who come from the audio podcast, so I know that they are tuning in regularly because that's what I'm doing, is building a community, not a how-tos. When membership content is out, that'll give you the exercises, and then we have one-to-one mentorship and the masterclass and spiritual retreats in the future. As fire creates a sword, tempers the iron. So when you're making a sword, right, there's another word I'm sure that I could use in English, but I won't be looking for it because I give you the gist of it. At the same time, the existence is in you creating your own strength. it's not a challenge, but we'll use challenge. A challenge in this time of your life is to transform your primitive strength and your uncontrollable. Yeah, okay, got it. So the fieriness of you is coming forth for you to use it with direction. So directing the strength and the force and fire within you with a channeling of it. Okay, so you're learning, in fact, how to embody your wholeness. And they're really fun. Imagine the bull, the again Taurus, but the oh shit. Okay, this is gonna be hard. Anyways, it's not that it's hard; it's that I don't want to keep you hanging too much, and the words have a lot of strength behind them. So what I might do is to translate it at some point and do another episode tomorrow. Let's see. Here we go. Again, impetuosity. So imagine the impetuosity of the Taurus. It can help you to visualize and understand the rune. So the energy of fire, the energy of earth, the capacity for you to take and bring forth that which is yours. The root chakra grounding it with your higher self, by the way, and the higher chakras is what is amazing when you are a person that navigates the 5D frequencies, how I'm going to bring it to secure attachment. So we are playful, enlightening, loving. We get to provide each other with the wings and the wind, and we don't drag each other down, and we don't cut cords with anyone, and we don't have a twin flame testing us or any of that business. We have people and we have relationships. And with that, the community here supports those who are healthy, other, and all are healing something. Some of us, we are not healing per se trauma charges, but we can always have things happening. So some healing, some dealing, unknowns, uncertainties, unexpected from within with an open heart while going with the flow. We choose to be self-empowered, enlightening people who live mindful and spiritual relationships in life. And that's why we don't do the shame, sex, business, or the lack of, what is it called? Intimacy. Anyone who has the lack of intimacy is going to be someone who will remove their self from our lives because they don't want real, genuine relationships. Because a real, genuine relationship is going to be present consistently, which means you are going to be asked to show up consistently. And if you don't have that earth, the Taurus, yes, that is a family-oriented astrological sign when you look at it. And so it is the earth that grounds you. It is the roots that you bring forth, which is a healthy self-worth person. It's why unhealthy people are unimpressive, because they don't keep their word. And they're unreliable. And they're not a devil, a Lucifer, that evil shit in the way that these people, the only reason they can still use the stories for some time is because the updated trauma experts have recently been able to make all their information possible. And with people like me, we're going to make sure to let people know, hey, you don't have to heal your inner child, but don't think it's Lucifer or devils or demons. Sex is not something we're going to shame you about. It's just unimpressive when you're a person who doesn't know how to lead yourself to get healthy self-worth and then to commit to life because it's too short, 24 hours. Mindfulness living, that Zen master, he could be here too. He doesn't have to though. We'll be back with more. Again, I welcome the lovely HP and 5D community to tune in again and share with anybody who you know loves to live, wants to share the miracle of life in an empowering, enlightening way. And for our 5D mystics, come on over so you can get out of those 4D tales. They're really boring and old. Have a good one.